Hello, welcome. We're in a different setup. We're on the computer. We're going to be having computer video. But before we get to that part, um, this is, I'm sure you can tell from the thumbnail and maybe even the title that we're going to be talking about Ream Stories. So, I found out about Ream maybe in like May, April. I want to say April of this year. And I looked into it a little bit and I was like, I don't know. And then I decided to. So, in truth, Kofi had updated their terms of services. So I re-looked and read them up because they said that they updated some stuff on mature content. So I reread the things and I already had Hunger's Desire on Kofi, and I realized that some of the things I would have liked to do slash would like to do with the Serapia Miguel name could be writing the line in terms of service. So then I went to Patreon and did some stuff over there, but I had been hearing things from people how Patreon was no longer really a safe place for erotic writers. Um, or the like extremely spicy community either, whether it is writing or art. It was getting scary, let's say. So I then decided, let's look into this other program that I had seen before. So I reached out to some people on Discord and was like, has anyone heard about this? Has anyone heard about this? And there was somebody in one of my groups that had heard about it and used it and was enjoying it as of right now. They had heard about it from some Facebook groups. And if you don't know me, I hate Facebook. I hate Facebook in my personal life. Like, it's just not my thing. There's too much shit that happens on the Facebooks, and I just don't want to deal with it. So, I tend to just not be on Facebook. My mom and my husband tell me everything I need to know in regards to family. So, I in as a result of that, I have a business Facebook, but I'm not on it. I have followed some groups, but again, I'm just not really active on anything. And I don't go searching out for other groups, which I know would probably be helpful and stuff, but I don't. In talking to somebody on Discord, and then someone else chiming in being like, "Oh, I heard about this and I was thinking about using it," so on and so forth. I decided to make an account as a reader and followed the person I had been talking to, and then just kind of poking around at some other things. And um, looking at the program from a reader standpoint, that it is very open and that looking up other information about it, joining their newsletter, I found their YouTube channels, watching some of that stuff, and it was very enlightening and it felt hopeful. Then I was looking up some erotic romance authors to read and found somebody that I was interested in reading also had a ream. So from there, I then, follow their Ream, and I'm just like, okay, things are coming together. More people are using it again, watching more videos from the company themselves. And I was still kind of flip floppy. Someone in the authortube community had told me that they were debating about starting a Ream and they were doing it for a different pen name. And I was just like, okay, let me know how your experience is, with the thought that I'm not going to start anything anytime soon. I have I have Hunger's Desire over on Ko-fi, and I have it over on Kindle Vella, and we're fine right now. And I'm currently writing my trad pub, so we're not really worrying too much about the self pub space. Uh, then by end of May, I realized I needed to change my mind in the course of my writing. So I decided to finish up for the last month in June the trad pub stuff and then move into my self pub stuff and just kind of focus there because I was struggling in the trad world and I think I needed a break. So with that shift came some changes to Amazon, specifically Kindle Vella. And thank goodness for the YouTube people who post news on stuff because again, I don't I just don't follow the right things or I don't look at the right shit because I miss news all the fucking time. So thank again the people post news because I was able to see the changes that were reflecting on the fact that I was wondering why I wasn't making money. Because I had openings. I had people reading and opening chapters that should have been paid, but I wasn't, and I didn't understand why, and I never looked too far into it because every time I looked at my dashboard, it was something I did really quick, and then I had to move on to something else or leave or something of another. And I didn't do it very often. So with this news, it told me about the changes that Amazon was making, some temporary, some permanent. And in result, without going into detail, they all meant I was fucked. And that for me, as someone who is a slow publisher, that I put out my chapters once a month, which is not what um, Amazon wants. They want you to pump out chapters like every week or every day. Also, in a lot of other serialized apps, they're kind of works the same way. The faster you pump out, the more you get seen and get pushed. Also, the fact that I'm writing erotic romance on Amazon specifically does not help my algorithm push. Uh, so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm mad. I finally was just mad and was like, we're gonna move to Ream. So in that whole thing, I decided to become serious about setting up my Ream and focusing on that stuff. Now, I'm going to show you what the Ream front page looks like when you just look it up. So, this is what the front page looks like. You log in here. This is the symbol for Ream. And it says welcome back Serapia because that's what I'm logged in under right now. You can search things. They have featured authors. Right now they're all kind of very samey. Every so often you'll get a new person. Um when when you come back, but a lot of them are very same. Your like recently read books are here. And then they have rising reamers here. And it's very how should I say, very open to who gets put up on these slots. Uh So there's a lot of different, again, mostly romance, but from what I heard, the like mystery and thriller stuff is popping up more and more. So there is other options, but these are all the like books that they're suggesting and offering. And you can see from there, there's a lot of different options. So Ream itself, Ream Stories, was created by um, a website IT developer person who was married to a spicy romance author. And it was his response to the fact that his wife was constantly having to fight with Patreon. And um, he wanted her to have her own space. But then from there, they met another author who was a sci fi writer and decided why not make a website that would help all authors, because his wife's specific situation is not a unique one within specifically, again, the romance community, but in general, as a whole, there's not a lot of fair places for subscriptions specifically at first is what they were thinking about, being that they were not copying Patreon, but they were trying to mimic what you could do on Patreon in the sense that you can have subscriptions. So from there, the three of them all co-founded Ream Stories, and then they also have a separate section where Storytellers Rule the World, which is where you get all of the like main info stuff. Let me see if I can bring that one up actually. Okay, so this is their main site, Storytellers Rule the World. Um and this is where you have all the like community stuff. There's a concierge service, events, some free books that they offer, a blog, other resources. They have an academy to help you. There's a lot of nice information, and then their plans going forward. And their YouTube also has a lot of great information about updates like per quarter. Now they also have they have two Facebooks and a Discord where you can join and be amongst other authors. I have joined their Discord. It's a very like for the summer sprinty thing, but I'm very curious to see after the summer is over if the Discord will still be alive and going continue, which I hope so, because again, I'm not into Facebook. So having a Discord would be much better, even though again, I'm still shy when it comes to like talking to people. So I haven't talked too much to people, but I enjoy seeing and like passively absorbing what people are talking about and stuff. So um on here you can go from here and go straight to your dashboard. But let's say you're coming to read. So so you can have, again, also here you can go to dashboards, members, settings, and guides. So if you go to memberships, this will tell you who you have signed up for as a follower and a member, because you can also follow people for free or join a members tier where you pay again. Let's say we're going to search for somebody. So um, we're going to come here and you can type in whatever you want, really. So let's say, as I am an erotic romance writer, let's try erotica. And here are all the stories that come up that are just erotica, just labeled erotica. Or we can put erotic romance and see a few of them filtered out because they weren't labeled erotic romance. But you can also, if you are looking, oh my God, if you are looking up Authors, if you're just wanting to see pages, let's say like, you're going to make your own page. I did this. I'm going to make my own page. What are other writers? How do their pages look that are also erotic romance writers? So I have authors here, and this will pop up. So she is labeled as an erotic romance. She's the only one that pops up here. But again, let's put it back to erotica. A lot more people pop up. So you have all these people that you can then click on and see who are these people? What do their sites look like? Can I what can I take and learn from them and bring forward? So let's try sci-fi sci-fi romance. So here's one person that comes up as sci-fi romance, sci-fi erotica, nothing. Okay, so let's just do sci-fi in general. So here are some people that are just sci-fi. There's a few there, and then we have fantasy. All the people who have themselves labeled as fantasy are all here, popped up. And I bet you, if we look up dark romance, there'll be a ton of those. Now it's my guess. Yes, there's a good amount of people labeled as dark romance. Again, this is just the authors, then themselves, or groups of authors as well. But then again, here you can switch back, and these are just all the books that are labeled as dark romance. Now, you can also do, let's say you're not into all these dark, super sexy stuff, you can do sweet romance. And they have those here. And they also have an ability, and I can show you um, in a bit, where you can put if something is mature or not, because the idea is there was people coming in from the YA field coming in and making accounts, and they were worried about their teens getting books that maybe they should not be reading. So let's actually look up YA. Young adult. Yeah, here we go. We got a few young adult things here. So those aren't going to have as much sex in them as like a spicy romance or erotic romance. And then here, we don't have any authors labeled themselves that way. But here are all the books that you have here. So that is kind of how you would read that. So let's say again, you want to just go straight to someone you already follow. You can go to memberships. If I was paying for anybody, they would show up here. But following, these are all the people that I follow that I can just go straight to them and see what they're doing, besides the like emails that I get from following them. So here is, um, so so let's back up. So let's say that when you when you make the account, and then you follow somebody, they tell you that they're going to share your email with the creator, the author. And of course, you have to say yes, that you acknowledge that that's okay. And that is how people would be able to contact and communicate with you, if they need to send you something. But also, Ream, anytime someone posts something like a chapter or a comment, not a comment, a message in like the community just section, then Ream sends you an email saying this person posted content. So you'll get an email talking about that. You have the ability to also, as an author, get your followers, not your followers, but your members addresses so you can physically send them items just like on Patreon. And if that's the case, you have a button that tells that you're saying in this tier, I'm going to be physically sending things. And you click the button, and I'll show you again, like I said. And when that happens, when the person signs up for the membership, it will prompt you saying, oh, remember to, or please put your address in so that I can send you things. So that enables you to send, like send copies of books, or they were talking about people, really successful people having book boxes, and things like that. So that is quite interesting and great right now. Now, if you've gotten this far into the video, because let's see, how far are we? We are 23 minutes into the video. Not many people make it this far. You are going to now get a sneak peek, a super, super sneak peek, because if you're watching this right now, my page is live, but I'm not advertising. I just needed to make it launch because it's done, I feel like, and I keep poking at it. So I think I just need to launch it, so I can stop stressing about it. So if you're watching this, it's live right now. Then on the 1st of August was its original launch date. So what's going to happen is on the 1st of August, I'm going to put out some stuff on Instagram, Threads, probably Twitter, just for the sake of doing it, which I don't like Twitter very much, but there, and probably on TikTok, to advertise Hunger's Desire, and also just the page in general, as it's going to be relaunching. So this is your sneak peek. So actually, really quick before I show you mine, I want to show you what another person's look like. So Amelia Rose is one of the co-founders, and currently she is CEO. This is what her page looks like. And actually, it's changed because this banner was not here last time I was here. She's having like a special event going on. But she's a steamy romance author. You have her logo here and kind of describing what's happening. You can follow. And then you have her tiers here. And then you can see how many followers she has, how many members. Again, gives you an option to follow. And then a description of her, and like for her specifically, she talks about how to get a hold of her. And then if you continue to scroll down, you can see all the books and stories that she has available, for you to read. And in order to get those, you would need to apply for whatever membership is present to read the things. But you can search for a specific book title, you can search category, when did she last upload or update something, what you recently read. So this is kind of how someone's, like successful Ream looks like. And again, this is like the public face. I'm like not following her again. I'm not a member for her. This is how a general, you coming in just perusing different pages will look like. So my page, and again, you're seeing it from the back end from me because it's not launched yet. This is my page. So this pen name is Sarabia Madil, and this is how it's viewed. So again, you won't see this. This is because I own the page. So let's pretend you can't see that. So I have my banner here where I and my logo. Then I have that I create smutty stories about space, magic, and mythology. And it gives you again an option to follow. And then these are my membership tiers. And I kept up with the like spacey theme, because even if I have magic or fantasy or mythology in my books. There's still a lot of like in the future or space predominantly in my stories as of right now. So, I have here my like basic membership, and they actually don't let you go lower than $3. So unlike, let's say, something like Ko-fi, where you can put your lowest tier at $1, and Patreon allows you, I believe, to do the same thing. Here, they want you to embrace that your work is meaningful and that you deserve to be paid for your art. So they don't let you put something lower than $3. So that was something that I thought was really interesting. Literally, if you put $1 or $2 in, it gives you a pop up and says, no, we don't let you do it this low. You deserve to be paid, something along those lines. And it has to be above more than $3. So my lowest tier is 5. And this is because on Ko-fi, that $5 is how much it costs to get Hunger's Desire. And that's what this first uh, membership, the port docking. So docking port, excuse me. So you're docking into the space station and you got to pay $5. And when you dock, you get all information first before it goes to the public regarding the stories. You'll get access to all my serialized stories before I take them down and then release them on Vela. And then from there, my plan will be to then take them off of Vela and then publish them as a book of some sort. And this is because, again, I publish slowly. So I can publish once a month slowly here on Vela for Hunger Desire and any future serialized fiction without feeling the stress of Amazon isn't going to like it or whatever app service that I'm using isn't going to like it. It's not being pushed. I don't have to worry about that because the people who are reading this are wanting to read it, and people who are interested, can pay and read it and then decide to not pay later and not read it as they want. And I get the money, not it goes through Amazon and then me, because on Villa, I still needed to advertise. I needed to push because Amazon wasn't doing it until very recently were they putting out Villa ads. So, that's what I have here. And the reason I have it that I'll take them down is because, again, Amazon's all about the stupid exclusivity. And because they want everyone to be exclusive, I have to take it down from here and then post it there. But when I repost it or republish it there, I can publish it at a faster, quicker rate like Amazon likes. And that's kind of the plan. You'll also get access to any short stories, flash fiction, snippets that pertain to the serialized stories. So, if I decide to publish like an anthology with a bunch of short stories, you guys would have seen it first before it got to being published and bundled into a book. Then you move from the docking port if you want a little bit more stuff, and we're going up the turbo lift. So you got to pay $10 to get into the turbo lift. And you get all these access. You'll get access to all the short stories or serialized stories, excuse me, and their short stories. But in the Turbo Lift, you will get information about projects. So projects means books. So like Project Blasphemy is the book that I'm working on to be published. Any other books I tend to call projects, and my serialized stories I call stories. So any information about the books before they go public, you guys will get them here in this tier. And then you'll also get access to later drafts with soft edits because your girl is dyslexic and my first drafts are a mess. I'm rereading my zero draft right now, and it's not horrible, but Definitely no. So, after I've read it a couple times, maybe had a friend read it, then uh, I'll have it available to you guys. I'm not sure if it'll be chapter by chapter or if it will be like a few chapters at a time. I haven't decided yet. But after some soft edits, but before I give it to beta readers, you guys will get to read it. And then the project will be taken down before I release it to be published as a book. Um, and then again, if I write any short stories for projects in this tier, you'll be able to have access to the short stories, flash fiction snippets regarding to the projects. Then we're going to get off the turbo lift and you're in the plaza. So welcome to the plaza. For $15, you get both of these benefits. Plus, you get a little behind the sneak of the veil. You get access to my world building and my notes for stories and projects for both. You get to look and see the chaos of my mind as someone who is not a outliner. I world build in chaotic fits. So you guys will get to see those things. I haven't decided how I'm going to do this, if it's going to be like how the stories are, or if it's going to be um, posts. I haven't decided yet. Let me know what you think would be best. But you'll get access to that. You'll also get to see covers for both stories and projects first, meaning that again, in the plaza, you get access to this tier and this tier and this tier. You get everything back to back. You always get whatever was previous. So you'll be given an ebook copy of the newest book releases, including the stories when they're made into novels. So you'll get access to that. And that will probably go through like something like Book Funnel or something like that. So that's again where I would need your email. Then so these are the 3 tiers that I'm going to come out with first. This is where you're really, 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 really getting behind the sneak peek because I decided to plan for a positive future. So I made 2 more tiers that I'm not launching in August. Um, they will be still here in the back end. And then as I get more people, or perhaps when I get closer to publishing Project Blasphemy, then they will go up. But these are what these 2 tiers are. So from the plaza, you can go visit your quarters, the barrio levels, the neighborhood levels for $20. This is where the spice happens. So I have a little here. What you do in your quarters is your business. And again, you'll get all the benefits from the past 3 tiers, the main 3. But then you'll get digital art prints, no reposting anywhere. Some of them will be not safe for work. You will be sent stickers and handwritten notes, kind of like postcards quarterly. Again, this is where I would need your address. Um, Only US for right now. Some of the notes will be general from me, and then other times will be themed around the books or stories or characters. So that will be fun to do. And then from let's say you're gonna go back over to the plaza from the barrios, and you're gonna go to the command deck for $25. Again, you get all the other tiers, access to all the other benefits. You'll be sent swag art prints. So here you just got digital. Here you get physical. You will also get physical signed paperback copies. New members will be eligible for the paperback released that month or whatever that current one is. But if you subscribe after I've sent out my copies, you won't get that copy until the following month. Just in the benefit of that way I don't go to the post office every single day or every single week. And then if I do a Kickstarter, so if you're in this tier and I do a Kickstarter for a project, you will get whatever that first tier of the Kickstarter is. So that will be a little great side benefit. So these tiers are bigger because I would need to commission art for digital arts and postcards. The postcards I could probably make myself in like Canva, but actual art for digital and for print, I need to commission those. So um I need more money for that. That's why I'm not going to post these first. And if anything, what I might do is when it's closer to Project Blasphemy's publishing, if I do decide to open one up, I may just open up the 25 one because of the physical copies, physical signed copies. And if I get a lot of people to join, then I'll keep it up. And if not, then I'll re-hide it and just bring it back up only as kind of like a pre-order little thing. So that is how that looks. Then you just scroll down. Again, it gives you a chance to follow. And then as I get members and followers, this will go up. And then here's my little description about me. And then obviously I don't have anything posted because it's not active yet. So, and then let's say you want to make a whole new tier or edit a tier if you're an author. So when you edit, this is what you'll see. You get to create a name. What is it that you're creating? And this is where I put the smutty stories, spice, magic, mythology. This is where Amelia put down steamy Roman stories. Then you have your URL. And then let's say you want to edit a tier you've already made. So you can edit the name, picture, what you put in the description, if you want it to be physical or no longer physical, if you need to limit your members. And then also you get to have a welcome message when people sign on. You get to do all that. If you wanted to change the price, you have to make a whole new tier. You can't edit the price once it's locked in, unfortunately. I wish you could, but you can't. Now, here is what a blank one would look like. So again, name, picture, how much it would cost. Okay, let's do test. And then let's do $2. And then see, it won't let you add it. But in the past, it's told me why. And I guess they took that part out. But that was where before they would tell you that they want you to be paid for your work. So let's say $2.99. That's okay. But 8, nope. So that's kind of where that works. And then you can embed a video if you want, like to introduce yourself or something. That would pop up right before your description about you, and it's tied to that. And that's how that is. So the stories. So here is where you would add a new story. And then this is where, like right now, I only have one serialized story up. And this is where I'm like, I don't know if I would put my world building here or not. So here you can view it as like an e-reader where you can read it and then link it. Here's something new. So they just have beta now for audio. So right now, only certain people have this beta, and it allows you to now offer audiobooks with your books. But right now, I'm not chosen as beta, so I couldn't even show you, even if I knew how to use it, and I don't. But let's say we're going to come in and edit. or not edit, but start a new one. So you would have your cover here that you can upload and it gives you all the specifics. And then you do your title, you have genres. If you click one, it sets it as its primary genre. Then you have subgenres and you have tags. If you click one of the tags, it makes it a strong tag. So it will focus on those tags when people are looking up things. Your content warnings. Is it made for an adult audience? This is where you'd have new adult, young adult, middle grade, so on and so forth. The romance pairing, and they have all kinds of offerings. Diversity, again, lots of stuff here, which is nice. Is it in English or a different language? And then here, this is where you have, does this book contain mature content? Yes or no? And then do you hold the publishing copyrights for this book? Did you create the thing? You need to create a tagline, a book blurb, for all that. Then you have your content. I don't mind showing the first chapter. So you have your content, and you put the title. You have space to put in your document. You can also type in here your document, and then you can bold things, italicize, underline, put numbers, colons, links in there. You can also import a manuscript from Google directly. You can import the whole manuscript. You can just add a single chapter, which is what I do, and then you save. And it shows you your chapters here. Then you get to go to your publishing. You can create a publishing schedule. You can see all the chapters here and queue them. So if you queue them, this will relate usually to your schedule, and you'll then be able, if it's connected, when your schedule hits, the book will be released. Or you can just publish, or not book, chapter. Or you can just publish it, the chapter individually. If you're going to release like a whole book, then you would queue all of them or publish all of them. And then this would show you your schedule for how it's going to function. So here I have a test where uh, my chapter 9 would go out in December, but I can always change my mind and publish it now. So if you remember, you'd get to see a page where there'd be stories. You get to see all the community posts, or again, like I don't know if the world building will be posted here or not, but you'd see this. And then the information for the author, their tiers, and so on and so forth. So this is what that public page, membership page would then look like. You have here dashboard, your members, where you would see, I can show you because I don't have anybody. You would see everyone listed here, their emails. If you need addresses, it would also be displayed here when they joined and their tier list. And you can search a specific email, display someone. Then you have where your income, you can see your balances and availability here. And they go with Stripe, being that PayPal does not approve of like erotica and stuff like that, which I did not know until somewhat recently. Well, I should just say this year. So Stripe does not have any of those issues. So you can do that. So when you do make a ream, one of the things that they will ask you is if you want to be in control of your taxes, or do you want them to be in control of your taxes in conjunction like with Stripe. So you get to have those options. I did the one where they control it, so they take a little bit more than if you control it as like a service fee, but in reality, it's still not that much. It's still very reasonable. And all those questions are over on the Storytellers Rule the World and like how it functions. And like I said, I don't think I've said actually, but I'll leave all those links to all the pages down below. This is more of like a general introducing to you to how it would work if you become a member of mine, but also if you're an author curious, this is how the backend kind of would look and how you would see things. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, a little bit of both things, in announcing that my page is up and that what you can see and what you can expect also as a member, or if you're an author debating about it, what it looks like. Because there isn't a lot of people talking about it. There's not a lot of tutorials from other people except for the Ream Storytellers Rule the World team. So this is a person coming in's view of what it looks like. And yes, I haven't launched yet, so I don't know how everything functions just yet, but I'm excited to try something new. Also, I feel like I should point out, I did mention that Amelia Rose is the new CEO. There is some things happening within the administrative side of Ream. I did see it on the Discord and found more information over on their Facebook group, but I don't really want to get into that because right now, to me, that's not important. Companies have shakeups all the time, and if anything, they are suffering from being too overly open and honest. It seems like to me, the last time I looked, which was a couple weeks ago, and today is the 19th of July. So I don't know if that will change or what will happen. Lots of people like to jump to conclusions, just like in any community. Drama likes to be found by people who love drama, and I kind of feel like some of that is what's happened, is that the mean girls, the drama filled girls, and I use girls as like a general term, not just females, but those people have found it and are like super raving it around before we have concrete information, before they're allowed to do legal things that they're trying to do correctly from the looks of it. So that is all I'm going to say about that. Every um every owner has said that their first and foremost not responsibility, but goal is to still make Ream successful and allow a space for authors. Even the first CEO still has a belief and still has hope in Ream. So I feel like for me, that says for me to keep going on this journey. And that's what I'm going to do until they take down the program, or I hear like they're stealing money or something like that, or I have a problem with them. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, so in the end of that, my Ream is up. The link will be down below in the beacon. I might also just put the link down in general to the page, but go check that out on the 7th of August will be the first chapter. I will be putting out 2 chapters a month for the rest of this year, pretty much, because then we will catch up to where I'm at right now. And I also think just by January would be good for me to go back to publishing once a month, because that's just how I'm going to publish. That's how I usually publish. The only reason I can publish 2 times a month up until December is because I'm republishing. So I have content ready. So if you're wanting to follow this republishing journey and be one of the first ones so that you get content quickly before I go back to being slow, then go subscribe and be a member now, and you'll get those content. They will get the first chapter of Hunger's Desire on the 7th, and then you'll get the second chapter later, and it will continue following that. pattern where twice a month I will be posting a chapter, and you will get that content until December. And then Hunger Desire will be a once a month publication, and you can only find it there at this pace. If you are watching this right now, and obviously my chapters aren't up because this is extra early, you can go to Ko-fi, where Ko-fi is up to date. It is publishing once a month. It is where it was when I pulled it off of Kindle Vella. It is the same price, like I said, $5. And they also have access to any like shorts and stuff that I make, which I haven't done any yet. But they also have the same benefits as that first tier does on Ream. So if you want to read now and get to now time, you can go over to Ko-fi, become a member, read there. I will just say, if you're going to do that, once that story is done, whenever I finish, because again, not a planner. I have a vague, or not an outliner. I have a vague plan, no outline. But once Hunger Desire is done, I will be taking all of that off Ko-fi, and Ko-fi will only be for Dolores Medill content. So my YouTube content, Twitch content, and book stuff that is publishing under Dolores. Ream will only be for Serapia as of right now. If I make a separate page for Dolores, because I am planning to do spicier content eventually, that is, I plan to write spicy trad books. And if I think, or I want to offer some extra things, like let's say art for that stuff, I may make a Ream because it will probably be safer than Ko-fi. But that's way, way future. So that's not something you have to worry about now. But if you're just wanting Sarabia content that is on Ko-fi, the moment Hunger Desire is done, I'm taking it off. I'll probably give it like a month or two for people to read, and then I'll take it off, and you can only find everything else on Ream. You can also feel free, if you again don't want to wait, you can go to Ream. I mean, not Ream. You can go to Ko-fi, read everything, and then I'm giving you permission to become a member, and then unsubscribe from Ko-fi to then go over to Ream and subscribe there, knowing that the content is gonna move over eventually. I just do have readers on Ko-fi that I don't want to jumble. I'm gonna offer people if they want to move over to Ream, and if everyone does, then we'll reevaluate this and I might shut down that membership. But as of right now, I don't expect that. So you have the two spaces. Ko-fi is up to date and Ream will be behind. So, but yeah, so you can have that. I am thinking probably also by December, you guys will start getting Project Blasphemy content over there too. So if you're wanting that content, you're going to have to do the $10 tier. You're going to have to go through the turbo lift to get that content. So, yeah. And you can wait to see. I will be posting like public updates too on Ream if you just want to follow and wait and see. And if I say something that interests you and then you decide to become a member later, you can do that too. That's perfectly acceptable also. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching and going through this video. And I hope you're excited about me taking this step, because I am excited for it. But also, if you're just an author wanting to have known how Ream works and functions, in this very like kind of general layman's term, behind the scenes kind of looking, I hope it was helpful, even if it was kind of just general. And I hope you got something out of it, and I hope the links help you to get to whatever you need to get to. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in whatever next video. Bye. Tell stories and prosper.